Are you writing a novel? Same. Here are some excellent insights that I learned from live writing classes this week at the Novelry. Let's have a look.
I do love, I call it research, putting on a big teen TV show, like whatever all the teens are obsessed with at the moment. I will watch an episode of it, and then I will go away and do some like free writing. And there's just something about getting into the rhythms and like the cadence of that speech that I find you kind of absorb almost by osmosis. And then I go away and I will just sort of, write a stream of consciousness and then refine it. I also will write some internal monologue kind of as I would, and then I go back and I think, is there a point at which in this passage this person sounds too wise or too experienced or like they've lived for 20 extra years? I'm always asking myself that. Are they giving themselves a hard enough time? Because teens are really hard on themselves. Leaning into a bit of a kind of critical inner voice can be really useful. Another thing that I've noticed is that like when teens, whether it's real teens or teens in books, get a bee in their bonnet about something, that bee is buzzing. And so like, what is the bee in their bonnet at the moment? How are they fixating on it obsessively? And how can I like bring that into my character and my writing?
A lot of times you'll be writing and you've got all this steam and energy as you start, and then you start to kind of run out of steam and you're kind of like, this is starting to feel like a lot of the same and it's getting kind of boring. And that's a good sign to yourself to go, okay, probably I need to develop a subplot here. And to get, add in more contradictions, more conflicts, to up the tension and that kind of thing. And also, like we said here, to enrich your main character, just developmentally. So, but look for that when you're writing and you're working through a section. It's just feeling really boring. I think that's like a red flag. Like, okay, it's time to start thinking about the subplot and how to fuse that together with the main A plot.
A flag, something to maybe identify the fact that you might need a subplot or might need to expand on one. I think another one is, often I speak with writers who their first draft is coming in really short and then perhaps wondering, how am I going to kind of expand on that? Where is that depth going to come in the second draft? And often a subplot can be part of that. If you've really focused on your first draft in really getting the main action and that central plot down, often in the second draft, that can be when you can really be starting thinking about adding that depth, and a subplot can really, really help you do that.
There is a habit, and I think I definitely did it in the final strife, where you feel like you need to tell everyone everything straight away. No, there could be massive elements of the world that you actually haven't even introduced until like chapter 3 or 4. That's fine. Okay, there's a king and queen in this world. I haven't told you until that's fine. As long as it's not massively relevant, don't worry about it. Just introduce it in slow drips and drabs as much as you can. And also editors will be massive on this. Like particularly in fantasy, it's the biggest part of editing really is like character development, plot and world building.
I guess the other main reason for children's books it's worth creating a character a child reader loves is that, as you know, children are very keen on attachment in different ways. If you create a character that a child loves, they will stick with that character, and that's why they will buy every copy, every version of a Wimpy Kid story there is, or Harry Potter, or Percy Jackson, and so on and so on, because they feel really comfortable with these characters. They see them as friends. I've always maintained that one of the main reasons we read fiction as children and adults is a form of consolation. Doesn't mean you need to be unhappy or depressed to read a book, but however you're feeling, meeting a character you love in the pages of a book is a comfort. It's a pleasurable addition to your day. It's a kind of safe space